crowd, as you call them today, this was almost half the people who voted in 2020. Does the president ever feel that maybe he could have done more early on to try and reach out to those people?
The president will be judged by Americans by his actions and what he does to make their lives better. And the point he's making is that there are the platform of and the policies of far too many of these Republicans, these MAGA Republicans, as he refers to them, follow the whims of calling out Mickey Mouse and opposing policies that will help make the lives better of many, many Americans who may have voted for Trump, may have been independent, may be Democrats.
Because this MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that's existed in American history, in recent American history.
The president toured the MAGA, as you referred to. He called them an extremist group. What is his reaction to the Republican Senate primary, and does he view that as Trump gaining more control over the Senate and the process potentially?
Our focus continues to be on highlighting the fact that congressional Republicans want to raise taxes on half of Americans, squeezing the budgets of middle-class families. If you don't believe me, you can check out Senator Scott's website. I guess he's called for that, and we certainly agree. We hope you check out his website.
Why are you touring the MAGA today?
I think I answered this a little bit earlier, but I'm happy to reiterate. You know, he has been struck by the hold his predecessor seems to have on far too many members of the party. And while he has always worked in good faith, will continue to work in good faith on addressing issues the American people have, whether it is bringing down costs.
It's a MAGA agenda, all right. Let me tell you about this ultra MAGA agenda. It's extreme, as most MAGA things are. It will actually raise taxes on 75 million American families, over 95% of whom make less than $100,000 a year.
Does the president think the leaker should be punished?
Again, that's up for the Department of Justice and others to determine. What our focus is on is not getting our distracted or our eye off the ball of what is most important to people across the country here, which is not the leak and the story of the leak. It is the fact that women's health care is at risk.
But if the Supreme Court does move to strike down Roe, should Americans be prepared to accept that decision as legitimate, and would President Biden accept that decision as legitimate?
Well, I can't speak for what actions could be possible on the legal front. I would point you to the Department of Justice on that. And that is what we are focused on working to address as we're making policy decisions and considerations.
It sounds like you're saying then that's a yes, he would consider this a legitimate decision.
Well, there is not even a decision yet. We don't know the validity of we know that this is a leaked document. It is not the final opinion, so I just can't speak to that hypothetically at this point in time.
Chairman Powell, he just said that the Fed is limited in how it can deal with supply shocks that have been leading to higher inflation. What more can the White House and Congress do?
In terms of what more we can do to address inflation, beyond, of course, respecting the independence of the Federal Reserve and the decisions they make, including those announced today, is to continue to take steps to address costs. The invasion by President Putin was having an impact on inflation, whether it's child care, health care, elder care.
And today the president was sharply critical of the MAGA crowd and the MAGA agenda. Is that what we should expect to be his message going into the midterms?
And he also has made comments over the last several days about the direction of some in the Republican Party, the MAGA direction of some in the Republican Party, and he's been struck by the hold his predecessor seems to have on far too many members, not all, but far too many members of the party. And if that remains their platform, the president's view is that is out of whack with the mainstream of the country. Now, at the same time, he's always believed that in working with Republicans in good faith and finding ways to do that. And he will continue to do that.
And you just said his predecessor. Today he seemed to purposefully say my predecessor. He did not say Trump. He said MAGA instead of Trump. Is that deliberate?
Well, as far as I know, he's not on the ballot. A number of of Republicans who have seem to be under the whim of his predecessor are, so that's who he's going to focus his efforts.
Jen, why did you guys say anything about the leaked draft memo at the Supreme Court?
How do you mean?
Well, in the past, you have declined to comment on leaked materials, so why now?
Well, Peter, I think as you would note and was reported, the Supreme Court confirmed this this document was accurate, even if it is not the final opinion.
The president had a statement out before they confirmed that it was real. So
And in
what
that
changed?
statement, he made clear, we don't know if this is accurate. We don't know if this document is accurate or the leak is accurate.
How can you guys say this is not a political issue when the president's statement about this talked about getting pro-choice officials elected?
Did I say it's not a political issue?
Yes, you actually said some call it a political issue. It is not. Aboard Air
Well,
Force
because
One.
the vast majority of the public believes that this should not be overturned, meaning I meant to say it's not a partisan issue, and I don't think it is.
But does the White House explicitly condemn this leak, or has seeing this draft been seen as welcome by some here?
Our focus is on not losing sight from what the content is in the draft and what is at risk here. And while we have heard a number raise concerns about the leak, our focus is on highlighting what the content in there.
The president said today, what happens if you have states change the law saying that children who are LGBTQ can't be in classrooms with other children? What is he talking about?
Well, I think, Peter, we've seen extreme laws that target LGBTQ families, their kids across the country, and I think what he's saying is we don't know what they're capable of given what they've already done to date.
Which state is trying to segregate LGBTQ children in the classroom?
Well, I think we've seen laws that are incredibly discriminatory. That's what the president's referring to, and the fact that he doesn't know what additional steps could be taken by extreme wings of the party that would rather divide rather than work on issues that the American people actually are focused on and actually impacting.